What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, let's get into what's going on in Iraq because there's some interesting things happening. I told you when these people had felt that Biden was going to win this election, they were going to start showing their asses. And sure enough, it's happening. China is becoming more aggressive in different territories, including the United States. Russia is taking over territories. And then you have Iran using their armed militant groups to act up. We'll get into that here in just a moment. If you're thinking about buying precious metals, give a consideration to our friends over there at Money Metals Supply, or Exchange Supply, good Lord. Money Metals Exchange. Okay, so if you're a first-time buyer in the United States or over in the Puerto Rico, and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For you return buyers, if you spend more than $200, use promo code PEEPS, and they will give you $10 back. It's just their small way of saying thank you to my subscribers, and I'm grateful that they do that. All right, you guys know on Facebook, I have Pimpy's Investment Chat. You're more than welcome to come join me over there. It's free to do so. If you have any questions about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, the Dinar, Vietnam Dong, the Zim dollars, come over here and post your question here. There's a lot of very knowledgeable people in here, and they're really good about answering questions, okay? You guys know I got a second YouTube channel. You can see I posted something in there today. And unfortunately, I have to do it this way. I have to separate the two because, you know, some of these videos are, you know, a little bit on the controversial side, and I just don't want them to punish the financial channel that I have. But if you want to catch all my videos, just come over here and then subscribe. I would appreciate that you do that. All right. Okay, so again, somebody asked me, Pimpy, should we be buying on a dip when it comes to the dinar? Here's the thing. I can't tell you guys what you should and shouldn't do. You know, you have to trust your instincts. You know, this is why it's important that you become educated and knowledgeable about the things that you invest in. Now, I do get that you listen to other people and you're just trying to get an idea of what to do from everybody else. That's fine and dandy, but you should at least know some of the basics about what you're investing in. Should you invest more in Iraqi dinar? Here's the thing. The article I showed you yesterday, what did it say on there? This is a one-time devaluation, period. They're not going to devalue anymore. That's what they told the Iraqi people. So what does that mean? It can only go up, is what it means. In case you haven't noticed, it hasn't changed on these websites. For us, it's still reflecting, I believe, the same rate. Now, I haven't checked it today, but let's look at this. IQD versus the US dollar. Let's see if it's changed. Somebody showed me a picture on the Forex, but that's not here. So, yes, here, you can see it has changed now. You see this? It is 00068. Remember, it was 84, between 84 and 89. So it's dropped down about almost 20%. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is a good time to buy some dinar. You can get it a little bit cheaper. Think of cost average. You know what I mean? So, you know, as far as how ridiculous you want to get, as far as buying a ton of them, I don't know how many you want to get. I mean, I've set a goal. When I do my investments, I set my goals. How many do I want? Well, now I'm up to, I have 5 million dinar and 5 million Vietnam dong. So that was it. I set my goal at 4, but I added a little bit more just because of the thing going on with Vietnam and the currency manipulation. And something tells me that, something tells me there might be some changes coming soon. And the same with the Iraqi dinar, considering that, you know, again, I anticipate both Vietnam and Iraq's economies to grow. So you can come over here to the Nasera shop. The link's in the description. They have them both here. You have the, you know, the Vietnam dong as well as Iraqi dinar. So feel free to buy them here, and they ship anywhere in the world. A lot of them other places don't ship everywhere. These people do, okay? So if you do buy from these people, they are allowing my subscribers to use a discount code Pimpy to save you a couple of bucks, okay? So in the news, here's what's going on. You guys remember there was a bombing in the green zone, and then all of a sudden, like literally the next day, they had already found the suspects. So, you know, again, that's a good thing. We want to see that. There seems to be some quick legal actions, people being investigated, people being arrested. This is good. You want stability in the country. But now you got two things that have happened that's causing some serious tension over there. Okay? One is the devaluing of the dinar. Of course, the Iraqi people are pissed. You know, sorry, squish my poor chihuahua laying back. Of course they're upset. Their purchasing power has been reduced. They can't buy as much as they used to. And who it really affects is the poor. Now, I thought that might take some time and that would only be for imported goods. Nope. Nope. Right away, we saw changes in the grocery store prices. Now, to me, that was a little quick. But nonetheless, look, this is what people do. They want to take advantage of the announcement, and they do. But either way, it affects the poor people. Okay? And people on disabilities, anybody on an entitlement program, it's going to hurt. So there's that. And you have people wanting to protest. And now, in addition to that, apparently during the interrogation of the people that were suspected of launching the missiles into the green zone, the way they're being interrogated is being leaked out. So apparently they're not being treated very fairly, if you get my drift. And so word got out. So you got all these different factions within there. You have the popular mobilization faction. You have different ones in there, and they're not always on the same side. You have ones who are backed by Iran, and they've been trying to, once again, feel emboldened because of the Democrats getting into office, Biden. They're feeling like they're going to start getting funded again. And again, they've already made that announcement. They're going to get back in this nuclear program. Oh, yeah, they're going to get their money. So they're going to start getting armed again. And you're going to see them start rising up in the Middle East. Now, having said that, there have been some meetings going on over there I could tell you about. So the Arab nations are trying to decide, look, if this starts to happen, we start to go down that path again, where Iran starts running around bullying people, we're going to have to stick together, man, and fight back. So that is on the table, and all countries agreed. Okay? So finally, it looks like they're going to stand up against the bully over there, but their concerns are if they do that, who will come and support Iran? When we know China is just biting at the bit to get over there into the Middle East. They want to deal with Iran, where they could put in these spy towers and they can listen to everything that's going on over in the Middle East. Okay, so we'll see. If you're going to strike them, you better strike them the right way. Nonetheless, anyways, so word's getting out of how they're being treated, and it started some tensions over here. As a matter of fact, a group of people, where you can see here what they're saying here is this. They're saying that these people here withdraws from the streets and confirms we will not face the security forces. So they're ready to just go at Al-Qadimi's government is what they're ready to do. I mean, Al-Qadimi said he's trying to call a truce here, get things together, back on track. We don't want to fight. We're trying to have stability in the country. But if you do attack, we are ready and we will fight back. So this is again against those Iranian-backed people. See what's happening in Baghdad? Trying to pronounce his name, I'm not even going to do it. So these people came face to face. They started talking, explaining what was going on. There's a lot of details in here about the bombing, the investigation and interrogation of what's going on, what they need to do to slow things down, to calm things down. Okay, so it's a long article with a lot of details, but I just summed it up for you really quick. Okay, they just are saying, hey, look, we need to make sure that the law applies equally. So, if you're going to investigate these people and make sure they're treated properly, and that's just part of the situation. So, let me get down to, you can see here, Al-Qadimi is threatened. They threatened him. We are ready for a decisive confrontation if necessary. So, again, on Friday, Al-Qadimi warned against throwing Iraq into an absurd adventure, stressing that his government is ready for what he called a decisive confrontation. We don't need that right now. Al-Qadimi has been busting his ass trying to wean out the corruption, get rid of the armed militias, get everybody united as Iraqi citizens, bring stability there, work on the international scene to bring new business over there. He does not need his headache right now. This is not good for the Iraqi people, and it's important. All right? And for us, of course, both for those on the ISX and those who are have the dinar, we need to make sure stability stays there. But it looks like he has, look at this right here. It says, we have called for a truce to prevent our country from being thrown into another vain adventure, but we are ready for a decisive confrontation if necessary. So, two things happening that don't look good, but I don't want, if you hear bad news, don't get down on it. When you hear good news, don't get overly excited. This is just what's going on for now. Let's just hope that all these things can be avoided. But this is what I'm talking about. Iran feeling emboldened. China feeling emboldened. Russia feeling emboldened. What I mean by Iran is all these little groups that you see fighting and bombing the green zone. And now they got plans were leaked out that they're going to go after the U.S. Embassy. Well, these are the Iranian people. They said they want revenge for General Soleimani, all right? The one that got killed. So, anyways, we'll see what happens. So, Baghdad, dollar exchange rate is rising. The exchange rate of the U.S. dollar on the Baghdad Stock Exchange on Friday afternoon saw, look at that, 100. So, what this boils down to is this. For every $1, 1,410 Iraqi dinars. The exchange office attributed this decline to a large offer to sell the dollar. So this is good. See, this is the number we want to see get lower. I think they set the value at 1,450 for every $1. So it's down 40. If you just take off these numbers here, because we don't need to deal with all this crap. So it's a small move, but even so, you like to see it. That's going in the right direction for us. So here's what I'm talking about. Revenge for Soleimani. A secret document reveals a supposed timing to target an American base in Iraq. So look, we're going right back to status quo. See what happens when the Democrats get in power? Man, we start regime changes, ongoing wars. Trump didn't start one damn war since he's been in office and been bringing troops back. And how? The other one isn't even sworn in already. We're seeing this kind of crap start up. So this isn't good. We definitely need to make sure Trump gets there a second time. So anyways, the document was leaked, and it's in there talking about on the 1-year anniversary, they want to go ahead, and they have plans to strike the base. So we'll see what happens if that actually comes true. Again, they're really messing with the wrong guy. You know what I mean? I don't care what they think Trump's on his way out or not. I mean, that guy on his last day would blow you up if he wanted to. So here we go. This is to the part we're talking about. The International Monetary Fund announced support for the Iraqi government's measures for economic reform. I told you anytime the countries are trying to get themselves together, the last people you want in there is the IMF and the World Bank. I used to think they were friendly to people until you start seeing the types of policies that they want implemented, and it just benefits them and their globalist agenda. It really does. As a matter of fact, for those who don't know, I remember Dr. Shabibi during the Paris Agreement when they were talking about forgiving their debt. But if they were going to do that, they wanted these things implemented. And Dr. Shabibi was mad. He wanted to walk away. He said, hell no. He goes, not only, so he was talking about the rate. He said the way their monetary policies that they want to implement it, the IMF and the World Bank, that would be great to lower inflation, but it would not be good at all for Iraq because keeping the Iraqi dinar rate as low as it was prevented them from growing economically. And he was right. You know what I mean? So these guys swirling around like buzzards over a dead body is not cool. The body's not even cold, and they're trying to get in there and once again interfere. So they come in acting like they're your buddy and stuff, but in here they're saying they support the reforms. So this is a great importance of ensuring the stability of the Iraqi economy. Now keep in mind, those people who made the changes to the Iraq exchange rate, remember the people said this came from IMF and the government and who was it? Or the government? Some of the governance. But not on the parliament didn't get a chance to say anything or have any kind of say in it. And they were like, no, this isn't good. But it isn't. So for the most part, the continuation of reforms in the next stage, including the structural areas, will have a great impact on strengthening gains in the short term. So basically what they're saying, the gains that you get on your short term, I like what they're saying, though I ain't going to lie. They're saying with these gains, we can start working on other projects. And what that does is opens up the economy because people will have jobs, less people on entitlement programs, more people paying into taxes. This is exactly what they need. And that's what he's talking about is happening in here for the 2021 budget. Again, keep in mind, what good is this to talk about if we can't get them to stop using the Rona as an excuse to close down countries everywhere? We all know it's BS. So, sooner or later, people are going to have to stand up to this crap. That's why I keep hoping Trump gets into that second term, because he's not going to tolerate this much longer. So, nonetheless, You know, they have budgeted their 2021 budget, or you know what I mean, calculated their budget on a $42 per barrel um, calculation. So if it's higher, that's good for Iraq. That means they're getting more money than they had anticipated, which allows them to go ahead and start building the infrastructure, creating jobs for Iraq, strengthening the economy, which then in turn strengthens the dinar. Again, it's not just what they're doing over there that we need to be focusing on. It's not. Don't forget, our dollar is about to hit crap. Anytime now, anytime within the next 18 months, it's going to crash. Crash, and I mean hard. That means it's going to lose so much of its value, it's not even funny. And so if it loses its value, then other currencies, the rates go up against us. You see what I'm saying? So the value of the dinar will benefit those holding on to the dinars if the dollar crashes, because that means you get more US dollars for your dinar instead of the other way around, where you get more dinars because the dollar's strong. Does that make sense? So when a dollar's strong, you get more dinars for the US dollar. When the dollar becomes weak, you get more US dollars for the dinar. So, that's what I'm anticipating. So part of that, so when people are going, oh man, is this kicking the can down the road and all this other stuff? I said, no, there's no way to know. We just know that this is what they're calculating. This is what they're telling the public. The rate is changing. We just saw it change. How long is it? We don't know. It really depends on a lot of things. But again, keep in mind, it's not just what's going on in Iraq. We need to pay attention to what's going on to the US dollar, and it is going to crash. Anyway, this is although the government voted on the budget, that is the 2021 budget 4 days ago, it still has yet to arrive in Parliament, which is interesting. So eventually it needs to get there, and they'll vote on it. So here we go. So more of this. Look at this. The International Monetary Fund confirms its readiness. I love that. Oh, hey, buddy, we're here to help you. It's readiness to support the economic reforms in Iraq, which is interesting. Anyways, on Friday, the International Monetary Fund welcomed the efforts of Iraq authorities to make reforms to its fiscal and monetary policy while affirming its readiness to support these reforms. So let's talk about the repercussion from the Rona and a sharp drop in oil prices. What it did was, of course, caused hard times over there for Iraq. So it said the continuation of reforms in the next stage, including in the structural areas, will give a great impact on strengthening gains in the short term. These reforms are of great importance in ensuring the stability of the Iraqi economy. So this is good. Okay. I mean, again, they're just willing, always those willing people like loan sharks. You know what I mean? So yeah, here we got Erbil and Baghdad getting ready to start negotiating again. So good, this could be why the budget is not there yet for 2021. This thing has to get ironed out. Reforms in currency devaluation, a key to ensure Iraq's economy stability. Again, there's more articles, but this one is a lot more detailed. I kind of encourage you guys to come read what they're talking about. It's a little bit longer. It tells you why, what the plans are, you know what I mean? So this is right here. The central banks of Iraq set the exchange rate at 1,450 dinars for every dollar, from a peg of 1,182 dinars for the sale of the finance ministry. The dinar will be sold to the public at 1,470 for every $1, and the other banks will get at 1,460 for every dollar. Okay, so again, it's dropped somewhere around 20%, but people are like, oh man, are you upset? No, I'm not upset. I mean, geez, no. Again, some people have been waiting a long time, so I understand they'd be frustrated. But do what they need to do. First of all, the more important thing is the Iraqi people. Sorry, people that you're like, well, I wanted to get some money off this and invest in it. I get that. If we get it, that's fine. But really, I keep telling people, Iraq and the Middle East, I would love to be able to go over there in my lifetime, preferably when I'm at my age I'm at right now, and go around and see. There's a lot of great, very old holy sites. And so I want to go check those out. But before I just can't move around and Chinese take over the world and prevent us from even wiping our asses. So nonetheless, here we go. That's what's going on. Go check this out. They're talking about the things that are going to be going on. This is not going to be long. I have a feeling this change in a rate will not be long. If we can get past this Rona crap, considering there's a vaccine out there, we'll see what happens. Because if they start giving it to the people and they open up the economies around the world, then what'll happen is the economies will all start rebounding, and this will be great for the each person's dollars, if you get my drift, their currencies. So we'll keep an eye on it. But anyways, that's where we are for now, you guys. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because we do help out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful holiday.